Good morning. Oh my gosh. Ugh. I did my nose spray, my allergy nose spray just before this, and I was great, and then all of a sudden it went down my throat, and I'm like, So, somebody was messing with my stuff. I'm telling you, I got children, so anyways, as you can tell, this is a coffee and taro. So first and foremost, go grab your cup, whether it's tea, lemon, water, coffee, whatever floats your boat right now. We're cozying in and we're going to talk to spirit and we're going to have a conversation. Okay. This is not one of those little tiny short reads. All right. So just FYI, I did start, but I had too many, disruptions. So I was like, nope, I'm going to start again. Okay. And I'm going to avoid, not avoid, but ignore. Is that what I'm trying to say? Yeah, something like that. Ignore the BS. Okay. All right. Well, welcome. This is Weird and Woo Woo, where we're all a little weird and we get a little woo woo. Okay. I'd like to put this PSA out. There is a trend, we'll call it, going around right now in the political spheres talking about weird people. I do not like that term was hijacked to describe fascist people, okay? I would like to ask that no one use the term weird in place of fascism, because call something exactly what it is. People aren't weird, they were fascist. And weird, just for clarification, is a byproduct of being awesome. Okay, weird is being truly, authentically you owning your stuff and exemplifying it to the world and loving who you are within that, right? It is waving your weird flag high for all to see and having no shame whatsoever. It's standing in your power. Okay, so it's not about conforming. That does not mean fascism, okay, guys? So from now on, I want you to think of weird as being a byproduct of awesome. You can't be awesome and not be weird. You can't be weird and not be awesome, okay? Okay. Like, it irritated me because, like, I'm sitting here with my name being weird and woo, and I'm like, and I don't like being associated with some of that ideology and shit. Absolutely not. So please quit. Weird is not a bad thing, guys. It's awesome. Anyways, enough of that rant. Let's move along. Okay. So, quick reminder, as the sovereign being of your life, it is expected that you will use your discernment on if, when, and how any of the messages on this channel fit, okay, or applies. Basically saying we don't Cinderella it to make it fit, all right? Fantastic. Now, I do have my mocha with cayenne and, whatchamacallit, cinnamon. It's num num, in case you ever want to try it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Cozy on in. Let's see what the message is today, okay? I did pull from the Fallen Angel Oracle, and basically, it come out in clumps. We're just going to call them clumps. So these three and these three kind of go together. They explain a thought or an idea. The fact that, let's start over here. There is a change, and and again, change, travel. This is huge in like multiple collectives. This idea of a lot of a movement, environmental changes, traveling, location plays a major factor. This is playing a major factor for 2025. So a lot is going to be happening, preparing for that. okay? For a lot of individuals. So you might see, because I've seen several messages from other readers, and I'm like, okay, not exactly the same as what I'm, but with this as an underlying like energy. So yeah. All right, who's tired? Somebody's yawning. I have had coffee. Absolutely, should I not be yawning? So that's what this particular card is. There's some level of like perception that there might be something of concern or danger, like a concern that might be a bit dangerous to somebody, that could result from a travel or a change or a move. And Spirit came out with putting this in between the two and saying that's just an illusion. You may look at your current circumstances and say, if a change were to come in right now, I could tell you X, Y, and Z would be problematic for me. And I don't know, that might not turn out so good. And in fact, it might turn out bad. They're saying, no, it won't. That's an illusion. That's an assumption. Now I know logically, you know, it's not as if Spirit does not always ask us to abandon our wisdom, right? What we know and what we've garnered over our lifetime. However, in this one, I feel like saying what you believe could potentially happen is a bit of more of a stretch, and it's more of a, it's not founded in something solid. So the example they gave me was kind of like wanting to move to a different location, right? Let's say you're going to a different city, and I've had this happen before, right? Where I told somebody I wanted to move somewhere, and you know, the people who are super dramatic and want to give you the dirtiest face, and they're like, why? And it's kind of like, okay, there may be a shit ton of, you know, like, they're like, people there are rude, and there's racists there, and, you know, that kind of thing. And while those, like it's not welcoming, it's not really a great area, you don't really want to go there, while that very well may be at some point had been true, it's more of a label on the place and not necessarily representative of the people who live there. That's the funny thing. It's like this outside perspective of something, like, why would you want to go there? And it's like, you don't even know the place. And I have had family members and friends of the family that have said something, and it would almost kind of like put seeds of doubt and then make you start to question things. And you know, when you start to, when you look for something negative, you can find it, right? And there's a lot of labels from people outside of something on something that they've never been a part of, or maybe had very brief interactions with. And in my opinion, it would be kind of like, and to typecast something without ever really knowing. But when you talk to people there, they're like, no, that's not my experience. Or, you know, you're going to have a little bit of that everywhere, but it's not prevalent to where it inhibits people from wanting to be there or move there. You know what I mean? Like, live there. And I'm kind of like, okay. So it's kind of like that. It's like the idea of, it's an illusion. It's a label. It's a rumor, they've said. It's not real. It doesn't mean that will be your reality. Something like that is important to me. And I'm using myself as an example. I have children. My children are biracial. Even though I look for certain dynamics within, you know, schools and such, like I do look at academics. I look at what they do for underprivileged youth within their school system. I look to see what they do, what type of supports they put in for those who need extra academic supports, and how they're performing in those areas, whether my child needs it or not. I want to know, because how you treat them speaks volumes of the culture that you have within that school. But another factor that I look for, and one of the reasons I have stuck with the area that I'm in, is the diversity within a school. And I'm not talking like minuscule. Like I live near a big city, and I can tell you their schools are more, what's the word? They lack a lot of diversity because of the way that the city was set up, and the efforts they never took to, after the early 1900s and the mid 1900s, to desegregate. So it's very segregated. Thank you. And it's kind of like, I would never go there, while the city in of itself has a large diverse population. The schools are not representative of that. And they've even received national attention for it. And funny enough, where I live, which it's except like only 55% of the population is white. We have a very prominent Korean population here, and we have a very large multiracial population. And so when you look at the dynamics of the schools and those that are within the school system, my children need to be exposed to as much as they possibly can to all of the people that make up this country. We have first generation immigrants that come over, and that's because we live near a military base. And so it's important. I'll tell you, I live in an area where, or in a large state where you would think my child would have encountered more overt racism. And again, there's a difference between overt and covert racism, institutionalized racism, things like that. I'm not going to say that he's not the product of, but I can go other areas within my state and hear things and see how people, oh my gosh, that do not happen within our community. And he has never experienced that. My own community would be the thing where you would think, oh, well, you're within this particular state. Surely there's more of that. And I'm not saying there's not. It's just not, I can tell you it's not to the degree that it is in other areas of this state it's horrendous. And so I look for those things, and it would be a deal breaker is what I'm trying to say, right? It's a deal breaker for me to go to a school that would be 95% white. I would not ever do it. And yes, I'm white, but I didn't even attend a school like that. The cultural dynamic is completely different, and the perspective that one has of life and existence and other people is completely different when that's there. And so it would be concerning to hear something that would be a deal breaker, correct? Going somewhere, and they're giving me this because it's kind of like you're hearing something, or there's some kind of like information, or there's something that of a particular area that is labeled a certain way, and it's labeled that way primarily by people who have never participated, lived, or been in that location. It's like typecasting something. And so they're like, that's not a reality, and it doesn't necessarily mean it'll be your reality when you go somewhere, right? Now, I know that, looking, I hope nobody misconstrued that I'm like, oh, if I find an area that's very diverse in populations that my son will never encounter, I'm not stupid. But I know my son is better for it to have more individuals who look like him, to have other children who are so used to seeing individuals who look like him, that it's not necessarily the initial factor as to how they treat one another. Some people do exist, they do, but I don't want my son existing in a, I don't know, like a monolith, like a monochrome. No, not good for him whatsoever. And that would be a factor. And I know there's people out there that that's not a factor for. And it very well may be different when he, same goes for, I don't want him to go into all male school. You need to know how to interact with the other gender. I feel like sometimes when people are set into a vacuum, right? And this might be true of the people that have tried to put seeds of doubt within you, is that they live in a vacuum, their own little world. They don't know anything beyond it, but they're putting their asparagus on other things that are not like them. This is going somewhere. And so, I don't want my son growing up in a vacuum, a monochrome. It sows the seeds of division in our country, in our world. Same can be said for somebody who should be traveling beyond just their borders to experience other cultures. It's important. I think that when we allow ourselves to remain in a vacuum, we allow ourselves to have a very limited worldview, and understanding of the human race and understanding of what people go through. So whatever you are believing about a change or travel, it's probably from a perspective that's not well informed, and that has been, I want to say, I feel like somebody feels called for something. Somebody feel like what you feel intuitively and what logically your wisdom. And I think this is the time, remember I said in the beginning, like generally speaking, Spirit isn't one to tell you abandon your knowledge and your wisdom that you've garnered from your experiences. But at this point, with this change, with this travel, with this move, your worldview is limited. That's the reason I had to go through all of that. You've not had the experiences to be well informed on this. And so you don't have the wisdom. And so using your gained knowledge as it is limited, would not be appropriate in this situation. These are the times when Spirit says, trust me, trust your intuition, trust the calling, okay? That whatever you feel might be problematic, concerning, or dangerous with this change or move or travel, it is an illusion. It is not true. Okay. Sorry. Whew. That was a lot. Ooh, I got a little cayenne in the back of my throat. That's good. There is something for you to discover. A whole other aspect of yourself, a part of you've not been able to tap into or access because you've lived in a vacuum, because you've lived in this monochromatic existence. Sometimes the environment that we are in, the location that we're at, can only allow us to get to know ourselves within a certain capacity, to a certain level, to a certain depth. It's like my child who now no longer, who lives up, who's moving, 3 states away. He's going to discover parts of who he really is, that he, through no fault of his own, could discover within the environment in which he grew up, even in the home with me. He gets to become his own person. Who am I independent of? Everything I've always known. And so there's a discovery to be had, that's going to, I want to say they're asking you to do this because when you get where you're going, you're going to discover a transformation, and it's transforming the misfortune that you've been experiencing. It is the thing that will transform all this misfortune that you've been experiencing. You will discover through your courage and your bravery this transformation. It will change things. If you're just brave enough to do this and follow through with what you feel called to do, then you will see a major transformation. I don't know who this one's for, but I get a lot of messages looking at my window, and I barely glanced. But like, Spirit goes, ooh, yellow flowers. And then when I looked back out to see what they wanted me to look at, the whole thing of it's fall and these flowers are blooming. Like right now, a lot of things are dying out, right? And to include a lot of the flowering buds, we're almost to October, and here, like, the leaves are starting to change a little bit. Not all of them. We're not in the most gorgeous stage yet, but everything's kind of like, and so it's less likely unless they're like fall foliage. But when you're just looking out at the wood line, you're less likely to see certain, but we've got this little cluster of flowers blooming bright and vibrant. In an area that you would think is not hospitable. In a temperature that you think would not be hospitable for that. That it's not the time for that or the place. And it is. And so I think that's likening what they're talking about. So let's pull some more to get a better idea of what if you hear some rumbling outside, it's not thunder. Again, I live next to a military base and they're doing training. I was out at the creek and it was like, I was like, oh, okay. We're so used to it here. But they've got some trainings going on, so. Okay. Starman Tarot. Thank you. I feel that this is going to be really good information. I feel that this is going to quell or like calm somebody's angst about something. Let's get this. Let's get her done. Three of Swords. Nine. You're so, yeah. We know that. You are worried that it's not going to be what you think it is. It's still questioning. You're still questioning it. You're like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the truth is. All these swords pointed down. But my heart, still intact. Take a look at this. I still love it. I still want it. I still feel it. I still feel drawn to it. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Living in some level of uncertainty. This is your fear. What if the thing that you feel called to hurts you? What if the thing you feel called to isn't what you thought it was? Oh, but what if it is? But what if it is? Don't get me wrong. Three of Swords is about a separation as well. This change will separate you from something familiar. It'll take you out of the vacuum you exist in. And that is the only way to discover your true path, who you really are, and what you feel truly aligned with. Because you must experience yourself at its fullest capacity. You will have success. And it does require some level of separation from something. But your heart truly, truly desires it. And that's what you should be following. Not the fears, but your heart. The Tower. Ooh. 10 of Cups. It's going to be the best Tower moment you've ever fucking had. Your bliss is on the other side of it. This is inevitable. This is putting you back onto a better foundation. Where you live, just like the example of my son, where you live is not going to allow you to be truly who you are to your fullest capacity. It's not going to allow you to live the life that you want to create for yourself. It will not give you that foundation. It's the same thing. It is a minuscule of what the world actually is, has, holds, and can give you. It's a fraction, a minuscule fraction of that. What you want wants you, but it's on the other side of this move, this travel, this change, okay? And it is what is necessary and must happen in order for the 10 of Cups. But we do have the 6 of Wands and the 10 of Cups flanking the Tower. Success, victory, after a hard time. And I'm saying this because going there and doing this is what transforms all your misfortune. You couldn't be who you wanted to be. I don't care if you have like 10 people around you trying to help you be what you want. There's something about where you're at, the environment, that space that doesn't have the capacity to support or pour into you. No matter how many people really want you to succeed, this is a required change. It must move. You must move. Because where you're going, this Tower moment, this change, not only fills you up, 9 of Cups, but it will love you back. It is not just about you, it's loving your environment. That extra cup, that 10 cups, takes you out of the self and puts you in this reciprocal exchange of love. I love the environment. I love what I'm doing, and it loves me back. I want to know more about the Tower. I feel I want to say it's more of it's a must. It's a change that is a must. But I want to make sure if there's anything behind it, like a sudden change or, you know, an unavoidable one or one that's going to rock you. I don't know. Hanged Man. Well, again, it's going to give you a different perspective. For sure. But I don't feel like that's what it's trying to tell me. They bring me to the idea that there's coins and like these gold bars and different things falling out of this Hanged Man's pocket. And I want to say that where you're at is the reason that you have this misfortune, and is the reason why you keep losing more than you gain. And it's keeping you stagnant and in place. So if you're wondering why something can't change, like why things haven't been able to evolve, it's where you're at. And I feel like it feels like a major change. Like either you need to be traveling the world or traveling all over, like getting out of that small space to see something different for you to expand or grow. But this feels like a permanent change. It is for many a location change. Yeah, leaving what you once thought was for you, that you loved, to go towards your true wish fulfillment, the Nine of Cups. Eight of Cups these are all cups at some point that you either thought you wanted or thought they were cups that you drank from. They were, you know, none of them have spilled. They've all got something lovely in them. It's just not for you. It's not where your wish fulfillment will come from. It can't give it to you, the world. Once you leave this stagnant place that is draining you in multiple ways, creating misfortune for you, you will have all the opportunity, all the chances, the abundance, the new start. Look, there's a gold bar right there. We were talking about the gold bars falling out. Time will be on your side. I don't know why they're saying that. You'll feel more in your power. You'll have a better ability to, there's something about programming here, right? One, you'll be able to communicate better, but this particular one, this typewriter is typing out binary code. And so there's something about a different location that will ignite things within you that this one can't do. Like, you're meant to be somewhere. And I know y'all have heard of astrocartography. There's a big piece of that. You know about the chakras of the world and how different land locations can awaken things within you. This is where your new life is. This is where your new life will start. But yes, it requires leaving this, walking away from something. And again, whatever situation or environment, it may have been beneficial at a point in your life, and it may have done good for you, but guess what? It's capped out. It can't do what you need for the next phase, for what's meant for you. Queen of Pentacles. Ooh. Your capacity will expand. Your capacity to do things. It's like a DNA upgrade. I know that sometimes people don't like that terminology, but there's a DNA strand. It's like, it's where you're meant to be. Like, I just feel like something activates within you that is so dormant and is unknown to you where you're at. And once you get there, your capacity to, it's almost like here, wherever you're at, you can't do. You've experienced misfortune. You've experienced a lot of reason to be ridden with anxiety. You're not capable of. Where you go, Queen of Pentacles is capable of everything. She's the one that can do it all. And I feel like saying where you're at, you can't. And it may have you believing more in what you're not capable of than what you are capable of. It may have you believing that what you feel called to, you're not capable of. That it's not something you could handle. That it's not something that you'd be able to do. And they're like, no, that's where you're at that has you believing that. Wee-hoo! I meant to catch that, so I'm just going to put these right back here, and here's the star card. You're being led there. You're being guided to go there. It's refreshing, invigorating. It is healing for you. But it's like you're going home. It'll take you home. Let's see what this wants to say. Let's go to to behind this and find out a little bit more about what they are looking at as far as what this change, travel, or move is. That was quick. Do what you know is right. Stand up for yourself. This is a fair and just decision. This balances the scales. It gives you what you desire. And I feel like the universe wants to give you what you desire, but it can't because of where you're at. But you can't resist the change for Spirit to put you in the environment, location, and place where they can give you everything they want. It's like you can't resist it. Ten of Pentacles. This is an exceptionally happy family life, financial security. This is longevity, prosperity, legacy. This is where the rest of your life is supposed to be. That's what I just heard. Ace of Swords, seeing the truth of a situation. And the fact that they're bringing me to, on this particular card, it says a challenging beginning. The only challenge is the illusion of concerns or danger, the illusion that you hold or have that is blocking you, where it has you hesitating. How is this change going to come in? Let's bring this back out. Because it sounds as if to me, and it feels as if to me, Spirit will bring something to help transport you to that. You just have to be, it's kind of like that boat on the Six of Swords. You have to step onto the boat though, right? You just have to step on the boat. And so I'm kind of like, is this change already? Ooh. Queen of Pentacles. I need more clarity on that one. How is it going to come in? Okay, we're not going to take all of those because I am home life. King of Cups asks you to open yourself up to those that are around you, to help and assistance, because this can be likened to like charity work or help of some kind, advice. Like, it's trustworthy. It's something that you can rely on. This isn't something to be afraid of, right? Queen of Pentacles is, there's a sensible approach to something. Challenges can be dealt with in a kind and understanding manner. And it's surrounding like the happy home life or the completion of something, your foundation. So I want to say around your home. This is really, really where you live is the problem. And there is a sensible, easy way. And it's like, I don't know if Spirit is going to send a person to help you with this. But it's kind of like somebody can help out if you open yourself up to the help the Spirit sends. Okay. This is about carefully weighing your decisions. It's an aligned choice, they just said. Is this a person or just a tiny bit more? Okay. I'm really feeling new elements. They're pointing me over there, but I'm feeling the energy here really big. Or is it like an organization or what? Seven of Wands. It's all it's important how you look at this. You need to approach it with a sensible mind. Okay, so yes, they're like, no, we're telling you to be sensible about this, right? Not to see something negatively. You need to approach it with your emotions in check, your mind in check, not to deceive yourself, not to set yourself up for failure by believing in something. You need to be balanced, thoughtful, sensible about this. Okay, thank you for the clarification. I am wanting to know how it comes in. It doesn't feel right to me. I'm gonna when I'm listening to them on another card and I shuffle shitty because I'm too much paying attention to that versus what I'm doing with my damn hands, I don't feel comfortable taking those cards. Happens once in a while, but Spirit will get the message across. I don't want to be the reason something wrong comes out. Let's put it that way. I don't want to be interfering with the process. So I have to check myself sometimes when I'm the reason that something is, okay, let me see here. Five of Wands. They keep giving me, instead of conflict, they're giving me chaos. This is the Five of Wands in this particular deck. And it's about approaching something level-headed and sensible and thoughtful and well-balanced in all areas and making a decision from that place. Being brave. Making it, and Seven of Wands is about choosing what's right for you, which we already got from the other cards. It is about choosing what's right for you, doing things based on what's right for you. And we did have a discussion about other people planting seeds and doubt. You know what is right for you. How does this change come in? And it's guided. I want to say you can feel this on a soul level. Okay. So I just heard put your big girl panties on. So I feel like they're saying feel the fear or acknowledge the thoughts and move forward confidently is what I want to say. Like, you've got this. And then again, we have the universe. You have so many options and opportunities. Yes, but Spirit, how is the change going to come in? Has it already presented itself, or is it something that is about to present itself? Because it came out like Tower moment. Like, I know it's a must, and it's the only way to get what they want. We've got, I don't know why it's like a chill. Everything's going to go just fine. Four of Swords. Be at peace within yourself, and it's all going to work out. Okay, so there's that's what's happening. Three of Pentacles with the Two of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. There's going to be a change. It hasn't quite developed yet, and it's about to happen. Okay? And you're going to have to choose that, because between the Two of Pentacles, that's two paths. You will have to choose it. And I want to say that it may present itself in the manner of work or collaboration or working with somebody else. Like there's other people involved. Okay. All right. All right. I don't want to push it any further. I feel like that's pretty good. Let me check something really quick. All right. We're going to pull one card from here and then we're going to be done. Seven of Pentacles, you feel like it's already done and over with. Like it's not possible. Like there is no, it's just before something breaks ground. So you feel like a failure because you don't see anything, but it's not that. It's about to come through. So man, it's definitely something about having tiny little hands with these big old, one more they said, decisions. You're about to have whoever, oh good freaking God, seriously. Let's keep it brief. Find a card that's like, watch them. Okay, well. Oh, I love it. So we've got decisions, viewpoints and options, allies and support. Here it is. Y'all know how we do this deck? I do read the brief overview from this book because the book says it so beautifully. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. And I want to give the due diligence to the person that created this Oracle deck. And then we will wrap this up, guys. This is like one of my favorite decks. All right. Council Fire. Decisions. If you've been waffling over what to do next, the Council Fire card is insisting that you make a decision. There can be no forward movement if you fail to decide which trail will lead out of the swamp and into the forests. It takes courage to make changes in your life, and all changes must begin with a decision. Do it and don't look back. Oh, do it and don't look back. Life awaits you. Oh my gosh, in all its beauty. The same shit. Okay, they're just recapping. If the decision of another has left you in a precarious position, make new decisions of your own. There is no need to make your decisions based upon another's. I cannot shit you. Sometimes they just want to reiterate. They're like, yes, yes. All that was said was true. Consider all possibilities and how your decision affects others. Then be courageous enough to act. Find your truth and stick to it. I'm just saying. And maybe I'm good at this. I don't know. Maybe. Even with all the weird stories that I add in. Maybe. Okay. Woohoo! Talking stick. Viewpoints and options. The talking stick reminds us of the validity of other viewpoints and teaches us how to listen and apply what we hear. We're being reminded not to interpret others who are imparting wisdom. Or interrupt. Interpret. We are taught through listening that life has millions of options and answers to any dilemma. If the talking stick has appeared in your spread, you are probably not allowing yourself any options in your present situation or have become too stuck on one idea to see any further than your self-created tunnel. In a vacuum from your worldview, which has been informed by the vacuum that you are living in. That's why they're saying follow your heart, follow your intuition. Your logic is not well informed enough to be able to, it's a minuscule viewpoint from which you are making this decision. Remember, all life signals and or options are available to those who will listen. You are being given an opportunity to grow through an alternative route. Use this gift now. Me, 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 me. I'm loving it. Ooh, 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 ooh. 28. Sorry. It just feels good sometimes when everything's flowing really good. You know what I mean? 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 All right, we're going to start on this side. Allies and support. Medicine bundle. If the medicine bundle has come into your hands today, you are being asked to honor the wisdom of your ancestors and the allies. If you're not sure what the messages are, look at the strengths that are now being given to you and count them as your personal medicine. This assistance is supporting, which is the charity. That's why we got the charity card and like the idea of take the sensible approach, take what it's trustworthy advice, it's trustworthy, but I don't think it's advice. I think it's like, there was something about like the King of Cups really being like that charity, like that help, that assistance. Okay. This assistance is supporting your present path and should be recognized as blessings from your medicine helpers, from your spirit guides. Through them, you may find the courage to support the self. The focus of this card tells you that you are not alone. The path may be difficult at this time or seem to be difficult, but you are being supported during your climb. If the path is progressing easily, you are in alignment with the allies and are experiencing their assistance. Be grateful, which I think is what's happening. Something's aligning. In all instances, you are being asked to note who is helping and see if you can return the favor by supporting others. There's something here about the assistance of the medicine helpers does not falter when you stumble on your path. By example, you should also remain true to others you have assisted. To have allies, you must also learn how to be one. Oh. I feel like this is for somebody who is so eager and willing to help others but doesn't receive the help. And this is about let the people help you. There is help to be had. Let them help you. Somebody doesn't receive that very well. Alrighty. I hope this finds and reaches whoever it is meant for. I do hope you have a fantastic and wonderful day. I appreciate you joining in, and I will see you again tomorrow.